Hello, can you guys hear me? Hi guys. I'm here. I am so sorry. I had to run to go get a Coke because I needed caffeine in a bad way. It's been a long couple days. And then it was, as I'm walking out the door, hey, grab me this, grab me that. So I'm here. I'm here. Thank you guys for waiting for me patiently. Um, oh man, this has just been wow. So by now we all know the big story about Galore and Magnolia, and a lot of us were watching on Molly Go Lightly today. She really, we've all found some stuff, and it's not. Oh my gosh, yeah, Morgan. I mean, this stuff is not cool. It's sick. This is just, and I know. Hi, Buffy, and hi everybody. Hi, Palm Queen. Hi, Morgan. Hi, Doug. Anybody else I missed? Um, but Marissa had mentioned in her live earlier that I am hi, Crown Reels. I'm a DV survivor, and I say that survivor because um that's exactly what I am, and this has really triggered me, and it's made it's brought up a lot of stuff. And hi, Hunty. And I feel like if it brought up a lot of stuff for me, it probably brought up a lot of stuff for some of you that have gone through it, or have, hi, Erica, have known someone that's gone through it, or have been a child that grew up in a house like that. It is Morgan. High five, girl. I mean, and she'd asked a question today about Morgan, or not Morgan, Magnolia. Sorry, I was looking at the chat. Boy, see, I need caffeine. And she kept asking, oh, Hunty. Oh, Hunty. Where do I begin? It came out yesterday that allegedly on December 24th, that while on vacation, JLR, now before I finish my sentence, I am not gonna read any of the reports out loud. I'm not gonna show any of the pictures because there's lots of places that you can go see that and find that. I don't need to do that. And one of the things, I'm going to get to that part too, because in my title, I said, I'm sorry. And I want to explain that too. So allegedly he assaulted his girlfriend, who's known on here as Magnolia. And there was a police report made, and well, let's just say she has to have reconstructive surgery on her face. Oh, of course, Canvas. After this, she was pretty badly injured, unconscious, and woke up the next day and called the police. Like I said, this is all alleged. Hi, Doug. Innocent until proven guilty. I'm not giving anybody a pass when I say that. Let me make that clear. But there, I said it. And the I'm sorry part about this. And well, this goes hand in hand with the I'm mad and I'm sorry. I am mad that because of my background, I gave this person a chance. Oh, thanks, Canvas. I'm mad that I gave this person a chance, that I believed that the person cared about the cases that I followed along with him. I believed that he had turned over a new leaf. I told many people in here that, and y'all warned me, but I kept saying, hey, I don't judge people for their past, right? I give everybody a second chance. And I had heard him speak about, turning over a new leaf. And I believed that because you want to believe people. You really want to believe and find the good in people. Most people do, right? And I feel duped. And I'm angry because I feel like somebody that was telling us all that he was an advocate for people was victimizing someone else when the camera was off. Well, and that's it, Canvas. I don't want to get so harsh and jaded that I don't trust anybody, because that's not a fun way to live either, right? But, oh, see, I didn't hear that, Morgan. I didn't hear that. I'll put that up, yeah. And that in itself is sad, too, that another woman, a woman who has talked about being, and I know her background too, but she has talked about being a survivor also. So I have to take her at her word for that. And yeah, Muffy, I'm on StreamYard. So what it does is it does vertical. Hey, Nadia. It does vertical and horizontal at the same time. And what it does is it's supposed to optimize the screen for people that are on their phone. So it'll do it both at the same time. I know it's confusing, but if you don't like the chat in the vertical, then you can always click my live button and go and get the what do you call it? The horizontal, where the chat is more regular. Oh, it's okay. You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, no, I don't think she's on her YouTube either. And I don't, I've heard some people saying, always believe the woman. Like, I don't believe that. I believe that this is the sad thing, is that there are women that make this stuff up. Oh, awesome, Canvas and Crime. Thank you so much. Hey, you guys, I'm on StreamYard. I can't see who gets it. Let me know if you get it. If you get one of the memberships, and tell Canvas and Crimes thank you. Please and thank you. But he said there are women that go out and make false claims. But what I can't get around is not any of her statements, not anything like that. What it is the observations of the police officer when he walked in and saw her. And when I read that, and then I read the restraining order, it's very hard not to believe her, just from what the officer himself observed and from the activities that happened afterwards. And but with that being said, like, I do feel bad if I steered anyone towards him. I kind of cheerleaded for him. And I said I wasn't going to do that because I really don't do that with people a lot. I don't, there's very few people that, because I really don't even pay attention. I mean, as far as true crime goes, I'm usually in here. And yeah, I got my fun emojis. I figured those out the other day. I can do 3 more or 2 more. I think I got to figure that out. But I'm sorry, you guys. I'm squirreling as usual. But, and I feel bad because something hit me at the beginning of all of this. And, me too. And then I'm hearing this. It's like, what's that song by Foo Fighters, that There Goes My Heroes? I mean, not that any of these guys were my heroes per se, but it's like crash and burn, I mean, wow. 2027 is the year of exposure. And I'm flabbergasted. But back to what I was saying is, what hit me was this whole time, when you look at the dates, when he left, and then he headed to Arizona for the Nancy Guthrie case. It was about the time that he was going to have to answer for some of this, because he took off and went home. And he was in Arizona for, a while. And he left on the 16th. And according to the docket, was served on the 17th. And wants to be back in court April 21st. Canvas. I still believe, that's the thing. I believe change is possible. I believe there are some people that can change, and I know it's not my fault, but I just feel like, I really, what I'm the most sorry about is that, and I was part of it, is that this whole time we didn't know any of this was going on, right? We're applauding him and we're saying great job, how grateful we are, what a great guy he was, right? Because that's what we believed. But can you imagine, while she's sitting back home, healing mentally and physically both, watching all of these people revere the person that was supposed to love her and broke her both mentally and physically. And he used us to re-victimize her. And that makes me both sad, sorry, and angry. That's what it sounds like, Muffy, And I'm not trying to disparage anybody, but what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And there's never an excuse to put your hands on someone that you love out of anger, man or woman. But and I hope if she's listening to any of this, that she knows, because this is something else I thought. people keep saying like, oh, there's been some really hateful stuff being said, and that is triggering also. Well, and that's it. I'm surprised it hasn't been more, Muffy. Well, same here, Hunty. You know. And I heard somebody say today when I was on my way home, I took my boys out to dinner after Marissa and I were live a lot of the afternoon and evening, and I just needed to decompress for a while. So I took my boys out to dinner and just, I went outside and I touched grass. It was 60 today, and yeah. So, but I just thought about all of that. I thought, this isn't fair. This isn't right. No one should have to be worried. And my situation that I had was very similar. And I don't know what happened because I wasn't there, but I know that women online is an addiction. And it does the same thing to people's brains. Well, not just women online, but it seems to happen more, right? Women sending their hoo-has and jubblies, hey, woo. But it's got to be a big temptation. But it does something to people's brain. The instant gratification, the instant that sneaking around, that going to these places and having, maybe meeting up with somebody. I don't know. And then you have not just the talking with being noticed by the opposite sex and being bombarded with people that don't have boundaries. Then you're getting, that was something that I noticed in the report with the police officer. He said, he referred to the fact that what she found on his phone, on his work phone, was he had been cheating with other women, talking with other women, communications with other women, and what she referred to as triple X. My situation, I believe maybe it wasn't. It was probably women sending him, I don't even know. Exactly that thrill. It's an endorphin rush. And the funny thing is that usually the guys that do it, they're not these Rico Suave guys. It's guys that have to prove something to themselves. And sadly, even though when it happened to me, even though I wanted to be angry at a lot of those women, I realized that a lot of those women themselves were probably victims. Because they didn't have the confidence enough to know that they were worth more than being someone's free spank bank material, right? They were looking for something from him just as much, at least in my situation, what I believed and what I saw and read, as he was from them. And neither of it was right. But they picked their targets. They picked women that don't necessarily, they're not the prettiest. They're not the skinniest. A lot of times they're in unhappy relationships, etc. And here comes somebody. Hey cutie. Hey beautiful. I love if you get, just guys, by the way, if you send us in our inboxes WTD, we know that within 3 or 4 messages, there's probably going to be a D pic, and we don't want it, okay? Nobody wants to see it. Sorry. But And that's it, the game, the back and forth. And then the anger when it all gets taken away, and the anger at being caught, because now everybody's gonna know the jig is up. And that's, and they do, in my situation, get violent, get mad, blame you. And the question was brought up today in Molly's, again, why would someone like her let this happen? It's really easy. It happens before you even realize it. We read in some of those things that there's been kind of a history of this, right, with them. And thanks, Hunty. And it sneaks up on you. And the first time it happens, you think it'll never happen again, because that's normally what they say. The love bombing afterwards. And then things get slowly worse and worse. Exactly, Doug. Yeah. Things get worse and worse, and all of a sudden it's out of control. And then you get into where you don't know what to expect. And it's a very, very fearful place to be in life with anything. You don't know. You don't know if saying something's going to do it. You don't know. And before you know it, you're stuck. And you're humiliated and you're embarrassed. You don't want anyone to know, because exactly the questions that I'm seeing some of the kind of crappier people ask, you ask yourself those things. How did I let this happen? I'm smarter than this. And then, God forbid you have kids, you have to figure out a way to now get everybody out in a safe situation, be able to pay for all of that, because a lot of times you don't have an income that will get you an apartment for 2-3 kids and food and all of that. And, and see, that's awesome. I applaud you, Nadia, because that's hard. And that's what you hope happens. You can't always know when somebody's going to do something like that. It's true, Doug. It's true. A lot of people just don't care about anything or anyone anymore. And I do too. Hey, Truth Warrior. Oh, we're just kind of going over some of the stuff that was going on today and yesterday. And like I said, Marissa broke everything down today and had all the tea. And I just wanted to make sure all you guys were okay, because this is a lot to digest. And it took me, I had to take some deep breaths, and that was one of the reasons why I didn't go live on my own yesterday. I went on Marissa's because we were both worried my mouth was probably going to get the best of me. And what I don't want to do is draw a bunch of attention to him, so that, sometimes negative attention is better than no attention at all. So my biggest thing is that I hope that Magnolia is okay right now. And I think someone said it earlier, a little bit ago, that she's safe. Here, yeah, Hunty said this. Right here. This poor woman, I hope she heals and has an amazing support team with her. I do too. And that's what I'm going to try and hope for. Is hope that she I really, really hope that she's okay. And if she's not, that she gets okay. And because you can say whatever you want, but sorry, I keep forgetting to turn on my thing with me. Which one of you little cutie tips you? Okay. But yeah, so I just want to make sure that she's okay and that hopefully she gets the justice and she heals and she's, maybe she'll get an even better nose this time. We're going to try and think good, positive thoughts. And oh, Truth Warrior, I'm still having trouble with my Gmail. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's not working correctly for some reason. Like, it's not refreshing and it's not. Oh, and I was going to ask you too, is my sound okay tonight, you guys? Because earlier. Oh. You're welcome, Hunty. I mean, it's not a popular topic to talk about. It's uncomfortable, and again, it triggers some people, and it can be embarrassing, and it can be humiliating, and it can be crippling. And so if you are in that situation, just please know it's not your fault and that you can get help. There's the domestic abuse hotline that you can call. There's always a way to get out. You are worth getting out of that. No one deserves to be hurt. No one deserves not to feel safe in their home. And I just, that's, like I said, I don't want to reread everything because I think she's gone through enough. Oh, and that was something I was saying earlier. And again, I squirreled like we normally do. I just want to make it. I want to say that I think it is absolutely brave of her to call the police because she knew at that moment that the moment she called 911, and we all know YouTube is a big place where people like to get on, people that like to dig, they like to dox people. It happens a lot. The moment that she called 911 and made that report was the moment that the whole world was going to know who she was, where she was, more than people already knew. And all of that, she dealt with that stuff every day. So she knew when they would cover cases, so she knew that everybody was going to know. And that's a big thing. And I know I've heard stuff about her in her past, but it doesn't matter. If she got hurt this time by someone that she was supposed to be able to trust and love, it's not okay. And it doesn't matter what anyone's done in their past. And don't let anyone tell you, because of your past, that you deserve to get hit. or you deserve to be told you're worthless in whatever way they decide to tell you. And that's really all I have to say about that. And if you need help, come in here and ask us. And my email is in my description. I'll email you courses. I can't go save you. I can't, write you a check. But I can give you phone numbers, and I can try to help you find resources in the area. Because, again, nobody, man or woman, deserve that. So, with that being said, I am trying to worm my way through X and YouTube, because basically that's all that's everywhere right now. But I know a lot of us still do care about Nancy Guthrie, and there is this young man up here, this Jimmy, that was lost in Barcelona. They just found him, and now there's question if he was possibly drugged. So that's crazy. So let me see. This was just a little excerpt that I wanted to. By the way,
Nancy Guthrie.
Molly Golightly is hot for this guy. Just FYI. Yes, I outed her. Okay. And I'm sorry I just abruptly stopped, but I think that some of us, we just need to. Because I know I do. I need to think about something else for a little while. So come think about something else for a little while with me, won't you? And again, fair use. I got to clickety-click, stoppity-stop. All the good stuff.
It's just mind-boggling. But, she disappeared more than 6 weeks ago. The intense media and law enforcement presence that descended on her little community there, kind of a nice community in the Catalina foothills north of Tucson, has most buddy, and that is senior national correspondent for News Nation, Brian Entin. Brian, you have adhered to that sign, and you are no longer there. When you left, you must have felt like shit. Like I
did think it was cute that he went back and was all excited to see his dog. That was very sweet, and I can imagine. Can you imagine staying out there for that long?
I thought for sure she was going to be found. I just thought, technology the way it is these days. So, what are your feelings right now?
Yeah,
You're welcome, Truth Lawyer. This is the thing, is that this is my channel. We are about claws and crime, nails, crime stories, all that stuff. But it's about self-care. One of the things about self-care is being a good person to other people, because it makes you feel good. And good grief, if we can all just be, we got enough places, like I said, we got enough places we can go down in the basement and hang out. Here, let's sit out in the front yard and enjoy some calm. Make each other, be nice to each other, Oh, he went home to his dog. He was there was a clip I saw that he was all excited because he got to be home with his dog. That he missed his doggie while he was in Arizona.
In some ways, I didn't want to leave Billy. I left on Saturday. I think it was like day 42 or 43 that I hadn't been home. I never went home for a weekend or anything. So I just kind of left to recharge. I'm back in Miami now. I'm going to go back. Can't believe it's now day 47. But yeah, I hope that when I left, there would be some kind of.
Well, this is from yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. So now we're at day 48. Wow.
A resolution. And there's not, and I don't, the sources that I made there, it doesn't, which is one of the reasons I took a break, because I don't have any indication that they're getting really close at this point or that they're on the brink of something. So it's just.
I did read that too, is that the FBI was still trying to find anything they could because they don't really have anything. Now, we keep hoping that that's not true, right? But I don't know.
Still a huge mystery.
I imagine you're ready to fly right back as soon as something happens. I wonder, is there anything at all that's remotely encouraging as a possible lead at this point?
Amen, Doug. Amen. It's definitely been that kind of day.
I mean, there's this task force that they put together now. I mean, it seems much more, you were talking about the sheriff, it was disorganized in the beginning. When I left, it seems much more organized, and the FBI seems to be more in control of the whole thing. So I think that's encouraging. Even yesterday I was talking to the neighbors, and
I want some nerd clusters, by the way. Those are good. And I wonder whatever happened with that neighbor that the FBI had come to her house. And they were like fake FBI agents or something like that. I'm gonna have to find that clip again.
And the FBI was back in the neighborhood again. They're asking about like really specific dates, which I think is interesting. They were asking about January 11th, which they've asked about before, but now they're also asking about January 24th, which is the Saturday before Nancy went missing. And they're going to neighbors and asking specifically for video.
Oh, absolutely. We are a 420 friendly chat. Yeah. Absolutely.
Video from January 24th.
Why? Because of a suspicious person walking in the neighborhood?
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, I don't know exactly why, but I think they have reason to believe that this person or people were casing Nancy's house the weekends before, and the weekend element.
Well, and I've heard again, going back to the houses, the construction, the new builds. I thought I smelled something, Truth Warrior. Oh, I love Now or Layers. Have you ever had the guava ones? They are to die for. But no, I'm wondering about. We haven't heard anything about that either. But I mean, maybe not that they're going to tell us, but I heard something about neighbors. They were checking on neighbors that moved out all of a sudden too.
It's interesting. Makes me wonder, does the person have like a day job Monday through Friday? Right. Why is it weekends that they're looking into? So that seems to be some progress there.
Well, and remember, now that guy was weird, but we had that weird guy in chat that was talking about that he was he was a construction worker on the houses, that he was staying there. He would stay there on the weekends because it was the weekend before the Daytona 500 when he was saying he wanted to go home, that weekend of the Daytona 500. Because I don't know, some of you guys remember that he said he was driving and he was upset because the FBI wouldn't let him go home because he was driving in the Daytona 500. So, I mean, that's not the details that I'm trying to put out there, but no, he had talked about being there, that he lived in Florida, and that he was one of the like carpenters or finishers on some of the houses that were being built in that neighborhood. That's what kind of got us talking about that actually in here.
Even asking that question, Brian, I think you're qualified to be the next sheriff of Pima County. No
problem, Hunty.
Savannah is gone. The sign is up. The tumbleweeds blow in the Catalina foothills. There's a couple of streamers. I understand a couple of TikTok streamers who just won't give up, or kind of driving around getting coffee for each other and trying to.
Awkward.
to figure it out. What do you imagine, as you sit there in the quiet moments at the end of your day? What do you imagine happened?
Yeah, just my personal feeling based on everything I know. I don't think it was the burglary gone wrong. I just don't, to me, that doesn't make sense. Why would burglars then take Nancy away? And even if
we've said that in here, it doesn't make sense if it's a burglary to take her away, and I just, I'm wondering, that's another thing too. I'm wondering, what? I'm wondering if, oh my God, I had a total brain fart. I'm just going to play this because I need more caffeine.
something happened to Nancy while they were there, I just think they would have fled. I don't think they would then, figure out how to abduct and take me, or if she passed away even at the house, get her body away. That doesn't make sense to me. The feeling that I have is that it wasn't like a targeted abduction. I mean, that they went to.
Oh my God, that's funny. That's funny, Truth. But no, I don't think it's a robbery because, again, yeah, why would they take her? That doesn't make sense. Even if something happened, they'd just leave her and get out of Dodge.
Take her on purpose, not because of a burglary. And again, this is just based on everything that I've tried to figure out since I was there. And something may have gone wrong where Nancy passed away. Maybe the intention was to try to get some ransom money. And I don't think those TMZ letters are real, by the way, but
I agree, Truth. I'm going to finish this out and then we're going to find something funny.
But maybe the intention was to get some ransom money. Something went wrong. She passes away. And now they're like, what do we do now? We don't want to get charged with murder. We don't want to run the risk of reaching out to the family and still trying to get money to return the body. So they just vanished and got rid of the body. I think that's a pretty good theory of what may have happened.
What's so stunning is that, why do you think there's a connection between, it's the rich Today Show lady's mom, let's get her?
And that's been a huge question with all of this, right? Is it because of Savannah? That's one of the things I've wondered. Oh, sorry, my mouse just went.
Is there? It's got to be.
I don't know, but I do. Yeah, I mean, I don't. These things don't happen randomly. I mean, they just don't. And why else would you take this 184-year-old woman? There's not. I mean, she's got a beautiful house, but there's nicer houses in the neighborhood. There's richer. I think it must.
That's what I didn't understand too. There are more famous people that with, there are people that are richer. I wonder if it's just somebody that's. I wonder if it's somebody that when she came to town, maybe when she came to town, whoever this worker was, realized that was her mother and thought that they would bank off of it.
It had something to do with them knowing that Savannah would be able to pay a ransom.
Oh my God. All right. Looking in the comment section, I agree with Brian. Ransom gone wrong.
See, that's kind of what I feel like too. Like, she doesn't seem that important for this, or are they just that bungling that they would pick the wrong pick? I don't mean to say this like this is gonna sound horrible, but they didn't really think through their target fully like that. But maybe if they did this for ransom, they've obviously botched it, right? Because as far as we know, no one's got any money. That is Billy. Help me out, guys. Billy. Oh, it's right. Billy Bush. It's right on the screen. Hello, Gutsy. He was the guy that had the hot mic moment with Trump where he said, grab it by the P. That was him. So, yeah. Oh, and they don't want to get caught now. So they're not going to say anything. They're just going to walk away.
Someone, Jackie, says her body's out there, dumped in the desert. Oh, God, I hope not. Brian's explanation sounds very plausible. She became more of a liability, is what one person feels. Oh, God, it's just so heartbreaking. I wonder.
And that's it. I mean, at this point, having to try and take care of an 84-year-old woman, that's a lot. I just don't think I think they just, I do too. I mean, I feel like, and maybe she wasn't to begin with, I don't know, but I just wonder, is that what we're going to find out, that, at the end of this, that she was way closer than anybody thought? I mean, because that's really rough terrain. And I was watching someone earlier this morning that was talking about, it's not easy to dig out there. It's not, so she's probably just somewhere, right? I got some new boots. They're Uggs, though. They probably aren't good for the terrain. But it's sad because, I don't know. I just feel like this just wasn't taken seriously. And I don't know. Let's do something fun, though, okay? I do agree with that, Truth Warrior. Oh, we can do that. I'm short, though. So we're going to have like a rope around me or something, because you got to pull me out of somewhere. Oh my gosh, Canvas. Yes. That was like bone chilling. We've got coyotes out here. I hear them all the time at night, especially, in the summertime and stuff when I'm actually outside. I am 4'11". I was 5 foot, but apparently I'm shrinking, which I think is a bunch of BS. But I don't think I'm really shrinking. I think I'm just kind of hunched over and whole. But yes, please do. Please do. Excuse me. I know one of the things that I noticed about that video, though, there was like fire trucks like off in the distance. And I know, like, out in our area, if we get fire trucks through the night, or we get police chase or something like that. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense then, yeah. That happens out here, and you'll hear for, a minute or so, a few minutes or so, and I love it. See, I'm like that. You got to put that half inch in there. You have to put that half inch in there. That makes a difference between reaching something and not, But hey, we get to ask all the cute guys in the grocery store to reach stuff for us all the time. So that's what I wondered. Yeah, if it was, I just was so like amazed at how many of them there must have been, because we have a lot of nature around us, and there's got to be a pack around here somewhere. I mean, I think they're in one of the nature preserves nearby, or that we've got orchards, all that stuff. It's Michigan, But I have never heard them that loud, and they'll walk right in our yard. I mean, they're not, and we get deer and all of that stuff. But I'd never heard that many at the same time. Oh, shoot. That's my dog. She's such a fool. She will, when she hears them, she'll sit there and bark and howl and try and, like, sister, you do not want to meet those boys, okay? We always want the bad boys, don't we, though, right? We always want the bad boys. But blue tick hound out there. They're calling for a boyfriend or something. I'm like, oh, good grief, do not bring them all here. That's all we need, But, okay, so I found this. It's AFV. It's like 20 minutes long. It's called, and it caught my eye because it says you're having a really bad day. And I think we're kind of having, some of the stuff is making us have a bad day. So. Let me do this. What am I doing? Okay. Yeah, our wolves are up. We're up in the UP and Upper Michigan. We don't have any wolves. We don't have wolves down here, and we have. I'm trying to think. Which are bigger? Is it the black bears or the brown bears? We have the smaller bears down here. The big bears are up north and in the UP. Bobcats. Yes. Yes. Yeah, we have those, and they'll scream. And also another thing, deer scream too. It's unnerving, but deer will scream if they're being chased or something like that, and nature's fun. It was funny when I grew up out in the country, and then when I got married, I moved to the city, and I had to get to a whole new host of stuff. There was a railroad track right behind my house. There was sirens. We were right down from the hospital, so there was ambulances. The firehouse was not too far from us, so all of that every night, all night long. And I finally got used to that, and then I talked last night about that it had gotten bad, and so I moved back to the country. Well, then I had to get used to listening to all of the what do you call it? All the nature noises at night. Just a second. Our turkeys are mean. Our turkeys are mean. Okay, one sec. What am I doing? Just a second. I'm trying not to blow up my computer. How do I do that? Just a second. We have one that's been photographed that people swear is walking around backs of people's yards. I mean, it's taking down deer and stuff. And Yeah, no, what's your... Oh, nice. Sorry, I was reading a text real quick. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah. She did. Well, that's why I wonder, like, who's writing these statements, and okay. Hi, Ragin. I recognize you. Welcome. Let's see. I just got to send something to somebody real quick, and then we will push play. Oh, good grief. Here, I'm going to click this because this is probably going to be funny. So I don't think we should we'll get grabbed for anything indecent, hopefully. So. Okay, that was way worse than my day today. Okay, back to business. This is okay. Oh. Good grief. Nancy was taken in the dead of night by a masked man with a gun into an undisclosed location. A common phrase that was used to describe ICE tactics. That's a new theory. I don't know. That's like, I have no idea why they would. Oh. Oops. Well, and that's what I wonder too. I'm still trying to figure out when. I wonder that timeline. I'd like to know when those pictures were from. These aren't funny. America's Funniest Videos. Let's see. Try not to laugh stuff usually doesn't work. Hmm. Been there, done that. Anybody else?
These are the funniest animal videos ever.
Let's see, this is Daily Dose of Internet. Oh.
Hold it. Mr. Krabs. No way. Come right here. He looks so cute. Oh my god.
Oh. I had a pet crab once. It was a blue crab and it was in a aquarium. So that was kind of cool. How do you come up with all these theories, Doug? Like, your brain must be just like constant, like it never shuts off. And I'm not saying that as a cut down, like I'm saying that like as like your brain's like a computer.
Why are you still here? Go away. Wilson just coughed and fell.
Oh, I dated a guy like that one time. Truth be told, driver gets a little bit like that on occasion.
I need an egg. Thank you.
I want an on-demand chicken.
These people were lost and stopped to ask for directions.
Buenas tardes, perdona, para Bolonia. Vaya, venga, gracias. Qué bueno, tío. Ole.
I'm sorry, but I love cows and bulls of all kinds. The construction site, so it swings back around, yeah, to ouch to that theory. I'm sorry, that's funny.
Oh my god. He's eating my
Okay,
arm.
so hamster story of the night. My little nephew, years ago, he was like 3-4 years old, and he had a little hamster, and he named his hamster Poe after the Teletubbies. Well, he used to get up in the middle of the night and take the hamster out of the cage and snuggle with him. And he did it one night, and we lost him forever, right? So literally a year later, they end up to go move out of their house, and we're getting all the stuff out of the boys' room. And here we pull up his bed, and sitting underneath the bed is this like tennis ball sized little hamster, just chubby as chubby could be, just sitting under his bed, hanging out, alive, by the way. And apparently he'd been living on Cheerios that this little kid had like dropped under his bed. He's having little sneaky snacks in there and lived forever. So, no, I like it when people talk in here.
Maybe there's something dead on it.
Sorry about the noise. She's walking above me.
This sheep was stuck in a trench and got rescued.
Молодец, Света. Умничка. Умничка. Все, операция удалась.
That's how my day felt today.
Thank you for being so patient. You've been so patient.
Oh, the other one.
Okay, now. Be sure.
And that's what I felt like when I read all that stuff about the exposure.
This poor little hedgehog deflated. These girls found a squirrel on the side of the road that they thought could use some help.
Oh my god. What
This person tried picking up.
Oh boy. Yeah, we're having issues with our Gmail right now. Like we've been trying to send like stuff back and forth, and it's not. It's not going through for some reason. I don't know. I'm going to try tomorrow to log in on my computer on that email. I just can't remember the password. To see if I can fix it somehow. Oh, I did want to go over no, we were literally last night like trying like over and over and over and over again because I was trying to show her all these documents because I'm like literally like this is the thing about all that yesterday. I woke up and I read all that stuff about JLR and Magnolia. And I was like, no way. I really didn't believe it. Like there's a bunch of people like saying, oh, you're spreading rumors, blah, blah, blah. But I just, no, I woke up and I saw that and I thought, oh my gosh, I totally figured that the reason why. So that's the thing. Okay, so the story about yesterday, because I know Marissa's gotten a lot of heat for it too. They're saying, oh, you're just trying to stir up drama and stuff like that. No, she was live and I didn't know she was live. And she had gone live to do a piece on DV about that Taylor Frankie or Taylor Frank, one of that Mormon wives chick, right? And that video came out about her freaking out in her living room and throwing chairs and hitting. I think she accidentally hit her daughter with something. And now they've canceled The Bachelorette. And she's got charges coming and stuff. Anyway, she was going on to do a live about that when I had seen this stuff and I start reading through it and I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I started sending it to her because I'm like, this is not real. This is not real. And then I ended up unsending it because I'm like, no, this isn't real. I don't want to spread gossip, right? And so I went through and I went to all the websites where I could get hard copies of stuff and see it for myself, and it was all true, unfortunately. And yeah, so I was really disappointed, and so that's why she started talking about it, because she read it and she knew that if I was showing her this, that I had vetted it, that I had made sure that what I was showing her, was true info from sources that we should be able to trust, and so yeah, it was just a shocker, and it just triggered the ever living what out of me. So I'm trying to find something. Let's see. This says, we don't know what happened to Jimmy Grace yet, but I've covered a ton of drugged men. Happens in Miami all the time. Women drug men to steal from them. In Nashville, there's been an epidemic of men and women roofied. It's happening all over. So would that be...
I really, really appreciate it. Please click to subscribe. I appreciate all the support. Just terrible news when it comes to the case of Jimmy Gracie. Jimmy, of course, is the University of Alabama student who was in Barcelona visiting friends, disappeared, and now confirmation that they have discovered his body.
I didn't think about that, Doug. It might be.
In the ocean, not far from the nightclub where he was last seen partying. But there are still a lot of questions with this case. Who did he leave the club with? There's apparently surveillance video. Who was he with? What happened with his phone? There have been reports that his phone was stolen. Is that true? And if so, who stole the phone? Was he possibly drugged? I'm talking to someone on the ground.
Well, I wonder. I mean, this is so sad.
In Spain. I'm going to get into all of it. And then also other cases that I've covered that have some striking similarities here. Riley Strain in Nashville. And then I was also just in Nashville talking to another couple about.
I was thinking about that, Riley Strain. That as soon as I heard about this reminded me of that.
The real drugging epidemic there. So I'm going to get into all of it in this episode of Brian Enton Investigates. Hey guys, all right, again, this is just such a sad story. I was really hoping that this isn't the way this was going to end. But Jimmy Gracie, story we've been covering.
Hi, honey. I found out some stuff about a creator that I thought was a good person and they weren't, and so lesson learned, right? Yeah, no, I am good, girl. I am good. We're not gonna watch this whole thing because, like I said, I was online like all day today with Marissa. Just I'm tired, but I did want to listen to a little bit of this because this has popped up in the middle of all this stuff, and oh, love you too, honey. Yeah, thank you. Yep, I'm good. No worries about me. But yeah, I just wanted to see what they had found. I saw this thing. I thought it was so sad. I was hoping that were going to find him, just had partied somewhere and lost his phone or something.
And for the last couple of days, University of Alabama student, all around just great kid from everything we've heard from his fraternity brothers and friends. He has been found dead. His body was discovered in the water in Barcelona. The 20-year-old was last seen by friends around 3 a.m. on Tuesday at this nightclub called Choco, which basically, advertises itself as one of the 10 clubs in the world, 10 best clubs in the world. Sits right on the edge of the Mediterranean Sea.
Wow, I never got to go anywhere cool like that when I was that age. Well, actually, I still haven't gotten to go anywhere that cool at this age.
Popular place, popular with young people, popular with young Americans who go to Barcelona. Gracie and some of his classmates had gone to Spain together to visit other friends who were studying abroad in Barcelona. It's, of course, spring break. They all go out, and somehow Jimmy ends up without his friends at the club, from what we can tell, and leaves. And again, I'm going to have an interview here in a second with a journalist on the ground in Barcelona who has inside sources, but there are some really pressing questions here. There's apparently surveillance video that shows Jimmy leaving. Who was that person he left with? He came out of the club with someone, I am told, and you're going to hear that explained. Also, there's reports that the wallet was found, which is strange, and then also that someone else ended up with Jimmy's cell phone. I
forgot to clickety-click. So, sorry, Ryan. Yeah, that's odd. Someone else ended up with the cell phone, all of that, and this is odd. No, they still haven't found, as far as Nancy got through, they still haven't found her. They're checking now workers that were working on some of the houses around, things like that. Checking on a couple of neighbors that left right around the time that this happened or right after. But no, as far as we know, there's not really anything. And I believe the FBI is kind of running out of info, and so yeah, it's not good for her. Definitely not. Hey, Nadia.
Stories like this before. Again, you think back to Riley Strain in Nashville, former University of Missouri student. That's where I went, by the way. He was on a fraternity trip to Nashville. This was March 2024. He disappeared after being kicked out of a bar downtown. He was found dead 14 days later. His death was ruled an accidental drowning, and medical examiners.
I remember this. They found him like right over the side of that like boardwalk thing. Like he was right there. And they looked and looked and looked and never, I don't know how they missed him. But I mean, it happens all the time, right?
Say that his blood alcohol level was nearly 3 times the legal driving limit in Tennessee. But I will say, and I'm going to get to this later in the episode, Nashville has a roofing issue that I've reported on. And what the issue with roofing and being drugged is with some of these drugs, they don't stay in your system a long time. So there's...
Yeah, that was it, the Rohypnol or whatever it is. Like, usually by the time you wake up, it's out of your bloodstream, and they can't find it in a blood screen.
No way to know days later whether someone was drugged or roofied necessarily. Could this be the case also with Jimmy in Barcelona?
All right, talk to you later, hon. Have a good night.
You just have to wonder, how did he end up in the ocean? I mean, just because you get drunk at a club doesn't mean that you end up dead in the ocean. And so obviously there's going to be an autopsy. Just because they found the body, we don't know yet. Was it drowning? Was it something else? Was it a drugging? Was it a homicide of some kind? Or was this a big accident? We don't know yet. We just know that they found.
And that's it. Could this just be like we have that boy up in the UP that just wandered away from a bar one night and was never seen again? But there's a big snowstorm, so probably in the spring they'll find where he was. But what happened? Was he just drunk and passed out in the snow like this kid? You know, you have also, there was also that Caleb Harris that went walking away from a party and was found, it was like that drainage thing under the road. And what they had found, K9 kept alerting down the way in the water, but they couldn't find him. I don't remember if it was somebody doing maintenance down there, but somehow, some way, they realized that he was down in there, and there was one of those like grates, and he was up against the grate. And so the water had been washing across him, and that was what's bringing his scent down the river or down the waterway, and that's why the dogs were alerting further down. And I believe in that. They finally just decided that it was probably just that he had gotten intoxicated and wandered away. But no one else had, I mean, they just said, you know, someone else had his phone. That's kind of
the
weird.
Body. But I want you to hear my conversation with Gisela Macedo. She's with Periodico in Barcelona. Just a warning, you know, she really was most comfortable talking to me in Spanish, which is fine. So Luis, those of you guys who go back with me a long time, Luis, one of my friends and photographers, speaks Spanish, so he helped me translate this. So when we hear her speaking in sorry, it's windy out here. When you hear her speaking in Spanish, just give it.
I'm going to pause there because I don't want to take his whole video, but just wanted to kind of know what was going on with him too. Yeah, Lisa Lamb and all those frightening videos. Oh, can you imagine staying in that hotel? Ugh. I mean, holy cow, that would just be knowing that you were brushing your teeth with that water. Hoy. Is that I know it changed hands and different owners, but is that hotel still even around? Yeah. And that other guy, from that German serial killer, can't remember his name. And they believe, I was watching something about it, and they talked about that they often wondered if Ramirez was like almost channeling him with some of his more, dastardly deeds. Hotel Cecil, and then what was it? Park on West or something like that, because they tried to remodel the hotel. So half of it was the Cecil, and the other half was this Park on Main or something like that, and to bring in like the young business clientele. And I was watching something about it the other day. They were seeing if they still had, I think it was the second and third floor residential floors, because it was a no-tell motel. It's right down on Skid Row. So they had people that had lived there permanently. And I wonder if it's still open. So the video that I saw was like maybe 2-3 years ago. But yeah, just, and there was another girl shortly after Elisa Lam that it was kind of a similar situation where I've often kind of wondered that, because she had issues with those other girls. Remember, she was rooming with those girls and she was driving them nuts. And so they ended up having to move her to her own room. But I wondered that too. Did they do something to get back at her, and that's why she was acting so odd? I mean, I know that she was supposed to be on certain medications, and they had said that she had quit taking those. But I don't know. It just seemed so odd. Yeah, her behavior absolutely odd. But I remember hearing that. I remember reading that. Yes. But there was another case that was similar to that. And it happened, I think it was like either shortly before or shortly after, where it was a situation like that where a young woman had like left home to go to school or something like that, and she'd been living at this hotel, and she ended up living in her van in front of the hotel, and the last anyone saw her was she had walked out of her van one day and she told somebody she was going for like a job interview or something like that. She was excited about it. Walked across this bridge. That's where the camera last sees her, and then they don't see her after that ever again. And they couldn't find her. But they said that it was something similar too. She had met somebody up to the days before that, and she was acting very, very odd. So I don't know. But I am going to take off for the night. I need another Coke. Mine's gone warm. So tomorrow I am going we'll look for some more updates, look for some more stuff going on. Keep you updated on the DLR situation as much as possible without making sure we take into account the race feelings and all that jazz, So so thank you everybody, and thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you. Canvas and Crimes bought some gift memberships earlier tonight. That was awesome. So I am so excited. Thank you, you guys. And tomorrow, like I said, we'll do some crime updates. We'll figure out something. And I am probably going to soak off my nails, so I will need you guys to entertain me while I do that. So, and we'll figure out the next nail plan that goes along, because we have to do some claws along with the crime, or else I don't live by my name. So, all right, you guys. Thanks for coming in. All my new subs. Thank you. I am so close to 1,000. You guys are so awesome. I appreciate you beyond measure. If you're new, please hit the thumbs up. Everybody hit the thumbs up if you can. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. and the notification bell so you know when we go live. I don't really know how to explain my channel anymore. It's kind of, it keeps morphing into different things, but we have fun. We enjoy each other. I got a good chat. You guys are awesome. Everybody gets along. We talk about interesting stuff. And I'm almost there. I'm almost there. We'll have to figure out something. We're going to figure out something. Something fun to do when I hit that 1K. We'll have some kind of 1K party. I don't know. So, all right, you guys. Everyone have a great night. Take care of yourselves. Peace, love, and claws, y'all. Good night.